Jolan Troon, welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and it's always exciting when we have a new arc. And today I want to talk about one of the things that doesn't happen every month, but is happening now again, because we are in a special event season again with a new battle pass, or even in parallel to the new battle pass, and that's the holidays event. As you can see right there on the screen, I just opened the rewards of one of the events running at the moment. Those are the holidays event token that you can earn. And in this video, I want to talk about how to earn them and some suggestions in how to use them and give you an overview of what you can do with them. And in this case, it looks like the Voyager with one of those what do you call this, bands hanging on that you can hang on a Christmas tree, like in the episode with the Q that was imprisoned, that tried to hide from our well-known John Delancey Q, and he was putting the Voyager on a Christmas tree during his run. But of course, it's Christmas time, and we're closing into Christmas, and so this absolutely makes sense. And right here you can see one of the events. You can earn these. This is the Texas class event that is there on lower levels already, just that you cannot hunt Texas class hostiles, you just do it with the normal ones. But as you can see here, I have to score 292.53 million points to complete this one. On my Ops 12 account, which I have for a few certain videos, I needed 70 points. So you see, this is definitely Ops level related. But as you also can see, it's doable because I finished this one. And when you try to collect these, you can exchange them in the event store. And it's a bit confusing at the moment because we have some different offers. The limited time is something different. The choice rewards are those from the battle pass I talked about yesterday. Then, of course, we have the Apex Outlaw. We have the emergency field ration store here. And instead of doing one box where they put in everything for the holiday season, they are just mixed in separately. And so it's a bit confusing. But there are the usual chapters for a special event. There are the offices, ship parts, ship refits, throwback cosmetics, cloaking, special currencies, resources and materials, and ship blueprints. You might not see all of them. I know that a lot of new players in this game are watching my videos as well, and I know this from my Ops 12 account. I cannot remember everything that was 2 years ago on this one, but that's also a good thing. I have this Ops 12 account for certain videos. I can see that there I cannot see all those chapters. So if you don't see something I'm showing you right now, it's because of your Ops level. So it might be different for you when you watch this. But the most interesting ones here are not all of them, but the offices are one of them. For example, for me, this one is interesting because I still don't have Bircher Calra. The rare officers in a new arc are usually hard to get if you don't buy them, and that was the same with the arc where Bircher Calra came in. I didn't get him at the time, and you see that I still only have 33 shards for him, and this is a chance for me, for example, to get this officer. For the others who were struggling with a Q last time, I got them during the last arc because of some special events, or let's say because of one special event where my alliance scored first place and we got 2 of those special tokens from last time. There I could finally get French Marshal Q and Mariachi Q as well. Starfleet Q I managed with an event earlier, but those 2 were still missing. Those were the rare officers from the last arc, and I managed to get them because my alliance fought very hard to score this first place to get the extra tokens, and that was a tough one, but there was a lot of effort put in by our people, so that was a great one, and that got me the complete crew. So the officers here including Mazret Vael, which was the epic officer of the arc with Bircher Kelra. If you don't have, or if you're missing any of these, this is a good source for it. And the other very important one, of course, is the ship blueprints. Here you have a chance, depending on your ops level, of course, and your shipyard level, to get certain ship blueprints. In my case, I have the Eviscerator in here. I've got the Selkie in here, which is quite interesting for me. Then I've got the Rotara and the Enterprise and the Dideridex. I've got all three of them. Then there are the G5 faction miners in here and a lot of other ships. But what is most important for many others are the ships that are coming, in my case, at the end. That is the special ships, the Titan, the Voyager, Monovine, Cerritos, Fisher, Define, Mantis, and then some normal ones again, then the Amalgam, the Sarcophagus, and the Stella. And here I want to stop. For those new in the game, for those who are watching my videos longer, I know that's a repetition, but it is a very important part. Those events like that we have right now, they are 2 or 3 times a year, and they are your big chance on a certain stage of the game. If you manage to get your Stella via the Rogue Faction store, and that is a prerequisite, you must have a Stella from the Rogue Faction store, then you can get your parts for the second Stella here in this event. And in this case, you can get a full unlock for your second Stella if you collect enough of those holiday tokens. You can, in one event, unlock a second Stella fully. And a second Stella really makes sense. I made some videos about this, why that is, but the short version is you can keep one Stella just upgrading and make it stronger, so you can do stronger hostiles, stronger armadas, and you have a second Stella that you just upgrade and then scrap, upgrade, scrap, while you're keeping one Stella that is getting stronger and stronger. But it's really important. Don't get Stella parts here in this event if you have not completed your Stella in the faction store. Because if you buy blueprints here and you got some blueprints from the faction store, the moment you have the full amount for one Stella, it will the sourcing for the Stella blueprints will disappear in your faction store. And this would mean you would have to get more parts from events. So build your Stella via the faction store before you ever get any Stella blueprints here in these events. That's a very important warning. That's why I'm repeating that so much. But if you have your first Stella, get a second one here. That is, from my point of view, when these events come up, always the top priority to first get your second Stella here, because it makes your life so much easier in case of Stella and upgrading and scrapping. I cannot even describe it. So that is my definite suggestion here, but only if you already have the first one. And then there are other special ships I already shown you, and there's also the Meridian that makes sense, and some others like the North Star or the Jellyfish, depending really on your level where you are. What I don't suggest are ships like this, is the Separatist ships, or which I even don't see here anymore, are the hijacked ships. The Separatist D3 and the hijacked ships are only something for collectors. They make no sense for your gameplay nowadays, so don't get the stuff there unless it's just for collecting them, to have a full collection of ships in the end. But they make no sense for the game because they don't even cloak. Even if you have the cloak for D3, the hijacked ones will not cloak. So don't get them. And the other special ships, then you have to see what you need, what you want quickly. What I usually don't suggest is getting blueprints for faction ships here unless you have everything else. I mean, my priority now is the officers, and then I might get some additional Selkie blueprints here. but I will not get the faction ships. First of all, the faction ships I'm working on at the moment are not even in the shop, because I'm not at the ops level and shipyard level yet that I need to build them, so they are not in the ship blueprints here, and so I'm not even tempted because they're not even there. But for me, the main one is the officers. You might want to think about some ship refits. That's another bug. I have to go out first before I can enter another. It's another bug we have at the moment, that you cannot switch in the event store between those because it's bugged. But there's a lot of bugs at the moment. But that's nothing unusual. There are refits in here that are quite nice, but the Katinga, the Kelvin, and the Valdor one are otherwise buy only, so you might want to think about them. They are really good for reputation grind, so they are quite nice. I've got all 3 of them already. Then there's the Cerritos refit if you're on the earlier stages with the Cerritos. But otherwise, there's nothing that is yet too important here, because a lot of those you can get via the refineries, for example, like the Enterprise refit chart, the Amalgam refit chart, the Vortavor and Bechor refit charts, the Tosti 4 refit chart. It's cool, but you can get it via the refinery. So I don't get too many refits here in the event store. You might also have what's it called again? I mean, those phasers and photon torpedo stuff in there. I don't have any in there anymore. And then, of course, there's throwback cosmetics. If you are very keen of something special, you might want to get it there. I cannot click it once again. I mean, you will see on the screen that I'm clicking and clicking, but it's not working. Yeah, the bugs. Nevertheless, that's my priorities, and especially for the newer ones, the second Stella version, and that is very helpful if you are on lower levels and are at a moment where you are in need of certain things here. And I can imagine that especially with the officers, there's some need there for the people. But for me, this comes at a bad time. As I said, I'm really in need of materials right now, and not of any of the stuff here in the event store. So I would have preferred that the daily events that are there, or the weekly events or whatever, would bring materials instead of holiday tokens. But unfortunately, it doesn't. So the next material event will be a little bit problematic for me. And upgrading my ships will be little bit problematic for me, because there's a lot in here that's for the holiday season. I guess the final weapon one was the same. I'm not so sure anymore. That's so confusing with so many. Oh no, that was a material one. One of the few that we have in here. That was quite nice. But here we got some mirror research stuff. But those that have the holiday tokens now otherwise would have been material ones, and I would have preferred this. But I can imagine that many of you will be very happy about the holiday tokens. If you want to give me your opinion about this holiday event, please write it in the comments below the video and on Discord. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.